Hello everyone, my name is Ashish Sharma. Today we are going to discuss the general defect in condenser assembly and its consequences. So let's move towards. So let's quickly take a look on condenser defect. Dummy tube shift, separator leak, fin drop, fin short, fin incline, improper tube insertion, fin stretch, tube damage, flux inside the fitting thread, dummy tube damage, flux inside the fitting.
Now we are discussing all defect one by one.
First is dummy tube or side plate shift. In this defect, dummy tube shift from its actual position. Consequences: if the NG part pass, it will be visually not appealing, and we have checked this as by visual or checked by gaze. Next is separator leak or separator miss. If the part is leak from the separator, that is called separator leak. Consequences: if the NG part pass, it may be lead to improper cooling and leakage problem, and we have checked this as visually or checked by leak testing machine. Next is fin drop. In this defect, our fin goes drop down from some portion, that is called fin drop. Consequences: if NG part pass, it will be reduced cooling efficiency and leakage may be possible from tube in the field. Checking method of the same is checked by visual or checked by gaze. Next is fin short. If any of fin was short during assembly, that is called fin short. Consequences: if NG part pass, it will be impact on reducing cooling efficiency. It should be checked as visual or checked by gaze. Next is fin incline. In this defect, look at the picture. Our fin goes inclined from some portion. Consequences: if NG part pass, performance will be dropped as airflow across will be reduced, and checking method as visual. Next is improper tube insertion. In this defect, our tube has not inserted properly inside the header. Consequences: if NG part pass, leakage problem at back end and it will be create scrap. Checking method is as visually. Next is fin density irregular or fin stretch. In this defect, our fin was stretched during assembly from some portion. Consequences: if the NG part pass, performance will be dropped as airflow across, fin will be reduced, and checking method check as visual. Next is tube damage. In this defect, our tube was damaged from any portion of the core, that is called tube damage. Consequences: if NG part pass, it may be lead to improper cooling and leakage problem. Checking method is as visual. Next is flux inside the fitting thread. In this defect, there is some flux inside the fitting thread. Consequences: if NG part pass, flux inside the fitting cause fitment issue and leakage at customer end, and its checking method is visual or checked by gaze. Next is dummy tube damage. In this defect, our dummy tube were damaged by handling issue. Consequences: if NG part passed, then it will be visually not appearing. Checking method check as visual or check by gaze. Next is flux inside the fitting. In this defect, there is some flux keep inside the fitting hole. Consequences: if the NG part pass, flux inside the fitting cause leakage at customer end or field. Checking method is check as visual or check by gaze. So thank you so much friend for watching the video. Hope it will be help to improve your learning about condenser defects. Thank you so much.